Ready? Well, Adam, a hard-fought goalless draw away from home. How do you summarise the performance?
I'm quite pleased, really. It's going to be a tough game, wasn't it? You know, and obviously they're not in the greatest of form, but they are a good side, and they've had a lot of injuries and stuff like that. So I think they're pretty much back to what I guess is like the full strength side, you could say. We're very unlucky at Chorley at the weekend not to get something out of that game, and obviously, you know, they're probably a bit close to, you know, the bottom end of the table, so it was always going to be difficult us coming here off the back of going to Telford Tuesday night. So yeah, I think if you can't win a game, don't lose it. It's probably fair to say that they handled the ball a bit better than us in the first half. I felt we handled the ball far better than them in the second half, and I thought we were the better team all second half. It just didn't quite have enough tonight to threaten the goal enough. And in saying that, I don't really think they did either. Probably with the exception of an effort, a bit of a scramble in the first half early on that Chris made a couple of routine stops, and then obviously the touch onto the bar at the end. I think it would have been incredibly harsh if we'd have lost the game, but I don't think either team did enough to win it. So I think probably a draw is a fair result, and obviously we're delighted with the clean sheet. So, you know, a good point for us.
It is a point, and it is a clean sheet there, rightfully, like you say. How important was that to build on the defensive performance when going on from the 2 goals that were conceded on Saturday afternoon at Telford?
Well, we just said to lads there, you know, if coming into these last 2 games we'd have been offered 4 points, we'd have been delighted with that. Which, you know, Telford away on Saturday was a tough game. We were outstanding first half. Second half we had to really dig in, and we were meant to work incredibly hard for our points. And tonight, you know, we weren't quite at our best. We changed system, you know, like I said earlier, if you can't win, don't lose. And I think 4 points from them 2 games with all the travel, I think we should be really pleased with that, and we are.
You mentioned that systematic change there follows on perfectly to my next question. You reverted back to the traditional 4-2-3-1 that you started the season off with Josh Hancock coming back into the side as well, his first start since the back end of January. What was the thought of going back to that system as opposed to the 5-back system that you've been playing since this calendar year?
Well, to be honest, I saw one of the lads on Football Manager on the way down, and they were playing a back 4, so I thought we'd just give it a go tonight. And you know, no, seriously, I felt it was the right thing to do tonight, because of them, really. Because they're a good footballing team. I think 2 good footballing teams, to be fair. It's not an easy pitch to play on, but I thought both teams tried. I remember when we played them right at the very start of the season, the first game, they caused a lot of problems in the first half because they had the extra man in the middle of the park, and we had to change, and then we got a grip of the game, and that's just kind of stuck with me, really. So, you know, Babos and Rasulo, they're 2 midfield players, and the lad that they brought in from Leamington, they're good players. So we just wanted to stiffen up in there. George wasn't particularly well yesterday. He's had a bit of a cold, and that probably, you know, I felt was the gods telling me that I was making the right decision. And obviously, you know, getting Hanks back on the pitch was a real positive, and I thought he did well in a bit of a, you know, scrappy game at times. That'll only do him good now, getting them minutes under his belt. But, you know, we've obviously been going really well for the 3 centre halves, and it was just more of a tactical thing tonight. And, you know, I think it's fair to say, you know, we weren't great when we went away to Leamington and Kettering, and you know, we felt kind of coming here against a decent footballing team, but on a pitch that's not the easiest to play on. Felt, you know, it was another reason why we probably needed to change a little bit tactically. And I think when you've been on a decent run and you've been playing a certain system, to then go and change, it can take time for your players to bed in and settle into it. And I felt you saw that probably in the first half an hour. But I did see little signs that we grew into that first half. And as I said, I think second half we were much better, looked a lot more controlled in our play, handled the football a lot better, retained possession better, built in some good areas. Just that final bit tonight that was missing. But I'm pleased with with the performance and the application of the lads, and we'll take the point.
And it's a point in the performance to build up back at the Tameside Stadium on Saturday afternoon against Chorley on non-league day. How are you looking forward to try and take this one on?
Well, yeah, it's going to be another tough game, but we'll be glad to get back home. We've had 2 really tough games on the road and a lot of travelling. Lads are tired, and they'll get a day off on Thursday, and they deserve it. Rest up and get ready for the Chorley game. The games against Chorley are always tough, and there's always that little extra edge because they're only down the road. And certainly from my side, I think it's certainly one of our top 2 poorest performances of the season when we went there, and we want to put in a much better performance, and we'll have to if we want to get a good result. But I just hope the lads remember that as well, that they take that disappointment from the performance in that game where we were just a shadow of ourselves really, and they take it into Saturday and they come chomping at the bit ready to go, which I'm sure they will do. We've got, I think that's 50 points now, 9 games to go. I think for the lads, they could have tossed it off these last 2 games, going to difficult places. We're not out of it by any stretch, but we're not right in the thick of it. We're close to getting out of it entirely for the season. Playoffs is going to be really, really tough. You're probably going to have to win every game, which is very, very difficult to do in this league. But while it's mathematically possible, you've got to keep believing, haven't you? And I think you see so many times teams that are in kind of that in-between position in a league at this stage of the season, the down tools, and the season just kind of whimpers away really. But this group of players, the last 2 games, they've showed that they're well up for a fight, and that they want to keep going, and they want to make each game bigger. And I think that their attitude and the togetherness, the spirit, the motivation is still really strong. And I just thought we'd kind of carry that into the Chorley game, and see if we can get past that 52 point mark.
Perfect. We'll certainly keep believing. Adam, thank you for your time.
Cheers.